Hey guys! Oh my goodness, I just got done with a coughing attack. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Be Like Holly. Yes, that's me. Basically, I make all the mistakes, you guys reap all the benefits, you get a chance to learn from my mistakes, what not to do, how not to screw your life up. Today's episode is called Distracted in a Taxi in Mexico City. Shout out to all my Twitter followers. You guys are the ones that decided that you wanted to hear a story time, specifically a Don't Be Like Holly story time. Shout out to all my Facebook followers. You guys are the ones that decided that you wanted to hear this specific story, so thank you for voting. And let's kick this off. Of course, if you haven't grabbed some tea, some coffee, or a snack already, go ahead and pause the video. I'll wait for you guys, and we can get nice and comfortable. Cheers. All right, so we're throwing it back to the year 2006, around there, and I was going to Mexico City with my friend Lulu. We were living in LA at the time. It was Christmas break. We were gonna fly down, spend a few days with friends, go to an Armin van Buuren concert, and then hang out with our families. My parents live in Orizaba, which is about 4 hours away. So I specifically remember on this flight, she had so many questions for me. She was being mother hen-like, very concerned about me, asking me if I had my passport. Hello, we're flying to Mexico. Yes, I have my passport. If I had my debit card, if I had credit cards, if I had cash, if I was prepared. Meanwhile, happy-go-lucky Holly over here was just like, wow, some people just need to relax. Little did I know. Anyway, so we get to the airport in Mexico City and we immediately stop at an ATM. I remember pulling out $400 and the first thing she said to me was, where are you gonna put that? And I'm like, in my wallet. Small parentheses, I had purchased specifically for this trip a larger than life wallet that fit all of my stuff in it. Literally every piece of documentation that I could possibly need for the trip. My license, my debit and credit cards, my cash, and my passport. So I was really excited to have everything in one place. She told me though that it was important to split my money up and have some in the wallet if I really wanted to, and then some on me, whether that be inside of my coat pocket or inside of one of my pant pockets or something. I was like, oh my goodness, okay, fine. And I went ahead and put $200 in my back pocket, and then I left $200 inside of the wallet. So we go to get a taxi, and I was just gonna grab any taxi from one of the random guys that walks up to you and is like, señorita, no quiero un taxi, no? But Lulu was like, no, we need to go to the authorized official taxis. I was like, all right, cool. So we wait in this huge line because again, it's the holiday break. There's a billion people at the airport. And after like 30 minutes, we finally get assigned our taxi, we put all our stuff in, and we jump in the car. We headed to her aunt and uncle's house, which is about 40 minutes away, and the entire ride there, we were just having so much fun with my new laptop because, oh my goodness, it had this thing called photo booth where you could turn on the camera and then apply various filters to your face. A very, very primitive version of Snapchat. And for some reason we found this terribly amusing. So that's pretty much what we spent the ride doing. I feel like we exchanged maybe a few words with the taxi driver, but not that much. So he drops us off at her aunt and uncle's house. Thank goodness he drops us off where he's supposed to. If you thought this story was about something else, at least whew, you can breathe in deeply because we did get dropped off at our destination. We grab all our stuff, run in the house, say hi to everyone, they show us to our room, blah, 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 blah. At this point, I was supposed to try to call my parents because they were actually not staying very far away from where we were. We were gonna try to meet up that night and hang out and whatever. So yes, I had a cell phone, but no, it didn't work in Mexico. And for some reason, I never had my parents' phone number on my cell phone. I guess the reason would be that they didn't live in the US, so it's not like I could call them from the phone anyway. And so I had the number on a little piece of paper inside of that multifunctional wallet with every important document in my life. So I reached for the wallet inside my backpack. It's not in the main compartment. It's not in the front pocket. Did I drop it somewhere? Is it on the bed? Is it in my suitcase? Lulu, have you seen my pink wallet? No? I go back. I search my backpack again. I take everything out, I put everything back in, I go back to the bed, I start patting myself down and I'm like, oh my goodness, where's my wallet? No! Why? She's like, wow, see what I told you about not having your money all in one place? Thank goodness I listened to her. Woo! finally making a good decision in my life. So at this point, I had a few options. The most logical one would have been to call the bank, cancel my credit cards, and start figuring out how to get a new passport, which really just sounded overwhelming and annoying. And so I decided, you know what? No, there's hope. That wallet is out there somewhere and we can find it. We can do this. Lulu was like, you've got to be kidding me. What do you think we're going to do? And I'm like, maybe we can call the airport and then see if they can transfer us to the taxi department. And then I realized that that was kind of a lame idea. And so I thought, you know what? Let's go back. Now looking back at this right now, I'm like, seriously, girl, you think that you're going to go back to the airport and find your wallet? Like, good luck with that. Plus, with all of the crazy stories that you hear about Mexico City, do you really think you can lose a wallet and then just go and find it? I mean, come on. But I was full of hope and optimism, and I said, if you don't want to come with me, I'll go by myself. And she said, oh my goodness, I better go because this girl's gonna get herself into some more trouble. So we call for a taxi, go back to the airport for at least another 40 minutes because hashtag Mexico City traffic. Oh my goodness, and by the time we get there, we are just exhausted. I mean, you know how it is after a full day of travel. You just want to go to sleep. But no, I had a mission and I had to get it done. So we basically have the taxi drop us off right there where the official taxis are taking off. And in that moment, this is kind of a cool coincidence, my parents arrive at the airport in their taxi. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that since I wasn't able to call them because I couldn't find their number, I ended up emailing them and they emailed me back and I told them that I was going to the airport, so they said they'd meet me there. Anyway, so I walk up to the little kiosk where you request your taxi, and there's a guy in there that delegates all the taxis, and I'm like, look, this is my predicament. I got a taxi about 2 hours ago, and I lost my wallet in the taxi. And I was wondering if anybody was like, hey, I found a wallet. And he's like, no. He's like, what taxi number were you in? And I'm like, I have no idea. And he said, okay, can you identify the driver? And I'm like, sure. So he busts out with this 3-ring binder with pages upon pages upon pages of pictures. Like a yearbook. Imagine that. You're looking through a yearbook, but it's all 40-year-old men, and you're trying to figure out which one you had a ride with 2 hours ago. Unfortunately, I really hadn't even seen his face. Maybe I saw his eyes in the rearview mirror and the back of his head, which was balding slightly, but that's all I can remember about this guy. So I'm going through and I'm just like, dear Lord, please guide my hand because this is looking more and more like a lost cause. And as I stood there on the busy sidewalk in the Mexico City airport with honking and yelling and noises all around, I hear a faint sound in the distance. Hey! I look up, and 6 lanes away, our taxi driver is there, parked illegally, waving his hands, jumping up and down, trying to get our attention. And I'm like, this cannot be real. I'm like, ¿Tiene mi cartera? And he's like, sí! I bolted over to that car. I don't even know if I looked both ways before crossing the street. Thank goodness I must have a guardian angel that's really working overtime for me. I walk up to him and there is my coveted, beautiful pink wallet. I'm like, thank you so much. You have no idea. You just saved my life. I can't even explain to you. I was so distraught. And he's like, that's what I imagined. And I'm like, where did you find it? And he's like, well, I had taken 2 different families to their destinations, and I like to get out and just check the taxi every once in a while, make sure it's clean, make sure everything's in its place. And when I opened the back door, I noticed that something was sticking out under my seat. And lo and behold, it was this wallet. And I'm just thinking, what a sweet person. I can't believe it. I was overwhelmed with the Christmas spirit. I immediately put my hand in my back pocket and gave him $100, and I said, thank you so much, Merry Christmas, you have no idea what a blessing this has been, I'm so excited, I can't believe this is my life, thank you. And I walked away just absolutely floored. You should have seen Lulu's face because she honestly didn't think I had a chance in hell to get that wallet back, and she was just completely in shock. I was too, to be honest. I mean, come on, what are the odds? And that's the other thing, the fact that he drove up as we were standing there, I just find it so insane, especially when you take into account the sheer size of Mexico City. This is just mind-blowing. However, I could have saved myself all of this grief if I had just been a little bit better at paying attention, making sure that I kept track of all my belongings. You look in your bag, you make sure you have everything that you consider important, and then you still look back in the vehicle that you're about to abandon and check the seat and check the floor. It's just what you do. So just a quick tip, it's always worth it to check a vehicle twice when you're leaving it. But also, I feel like there's one thing that I did do right here, and that is not giving up too soon. I mean, if I had been realistic, let's be honest, not even pessimistic, realistic, I probably wouldn't have gone back to the airport. That's 2 more hours of your precious time that's most likely going to be in vain. If you think about the probability of you actually finding a lost wallet inside of a taxi in a city with 10 million people. Wait, 20 million people, my bad. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's just nuts. Also, don't go ahead and have one place where you have every single valuable thing when you're traveling. It's just not smart. Unless it's literally part of you, like sewn onto your thorax, don't. I forgot to mention the fact that after I gave this guy the $100 and walked away and I was just beaming from ear to ear, I went ahead and opened up the wallet and realized that the $200 that I had in the wallet were gone. But, you know, I wasn't even mad. Like, for a minute in my head there, all was lost, and when you really think about the grief that I would have had to go through to replace everything that was practically irreplaceable in that wallet, I was like, you know, cash is cash. What are you gonna do? Not to say that $200 isn't a lot of money, and especially at that time in my life, I mean, that represented a lot of work. But, you know, let's just say I paid $200 to learn the lessons. And for you, the lesson is absolutely free. So don't be like Holly. Even if you're having fun in the back of a taxi, keep your head screwed on straight, make sure not to leave anything behind, and don't be so distracted. This story still managed to have a relatively happy ending, but I mean, honestly, it could have gone so wrong. Silver lining though, there are good people everywhere that are willing to return your wallet that you so carelessly lost. That's about it for today's story, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly hope that these stories are a helpful reminder to you to just think about things a little bit more than I did, and don't go through life so distracted. This is not a test, this is real life.
All the time.